Well, welcome to Matt's Rocks 2. Today I'm going to do, formerly Matt's Rocks, by the way. Got locked out of that channel somehow. Can't get back in. Can't upload any more videos. I can watch the videos. I can come up with the channel, but I can't do anything else with it. But anyway, today I'm going to do these two Montana agates. This one here is I've cut it down to where I'm going to make a cab out of it. I'm going to grind off the top section of this because I got a feeling that's going to look better. No, I'll take that back. I'm gonna grind off this portion to curve it down. But at first I'm going to shape out my cab, and then I'm going to have to dop it to a dop stick, but I'll dop it on this side so that I can work this side with it. And I'm gonna make it to shape just by hand without dopping it up. And then this other one, this was that other slab, and it's probably a good thing I cut it. But if you look, that kind of looks almost like a running animal, like one of those anteaters with the fuzzy tails, or something along those lines. And it looks about the same on the other side, except that there's kind of brown stripes going this way inside that black inclusion. And I'm going to make it a sample, so I'm not going to round off the edges much because this would cut off the bottom of my deal. So I'm just going to kind of round off the edges a little bit, but it'll still be square on the outside edges. And I'll just see what I can get out of it, and it's just going to be a sample. It's not going to be any kind of jewelry. Just only because of that shape in it, and that's maybe my imagination. Maybe somebody else won't see it the same, but if they don't like it, they just don't have to buy it. if whenever I do start selling them. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, I got my new felts in yesterday too, and I just ain't put them on yet. I went down to McCandon and found me another piece of Montana agate, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, well, I'm not going to be able to cut it on my wet saw. It's cutting crooked for some reason. And the blade just don't want to cut too good. I thought it was a fairly new blade, but evidently not. Might want to put some water on that. But I'll just glue it to a board and cut it on my other saw. That way I'm sure I've got the right levelness. This one seems to be a little thicker on this end than it does on this end, but not much. Anyway, I'll get a consistently cut piece out of it, I hope. And the hard part about this one is that black line goes through that black inclusion right there, and I'm going to have a hard time seeing it, so I'm going to work on that edge first. Okay, I'm back. Let's go ahead and finish these guys. Here's my shapes. I almost forgot about that part. I was set up a minute ago and my headphones, my Ray-Bans died, or no, Ray-Bans, Raycons died. But there's my cab. That's the shape it's going to take. Or the shape I made, I should say. Still a little thick, but I didn't want to lose all this white. And this would have been gone. Yeah, this would have been gone if I'd have took it any deeper. But there's also a fracture. Turn it this way. There's a chip right here. Both of those areas, it's got the staining on them. Well, those are both fractures that have been healed, but there's a little fracture coming in between that's been stabilized, but I've ground out some of the stabilizer. It comes to a point. It's like a chip that comes up at a triangular shape right there, and it's got a little spot across the top and a little spot down here that's white. But I can fix those where they're not as visible when I get done with it. Let me spray this down so you can see what it's going to look like when it's polished. I can get the water to stay on it. It's going to be a nice looking cab once it gets done. I wish it was clearer. There's a lot of dark back in there behind it. As you can tell, it's a green color. That's my dop wax. That won't be there. I'll show it to you with the light coming through it when I get it done and get it off the dop stick. Here's the other one. This is just going to be a sample. Oh, try and dry it off with a wet hand. There's going to be the front side. This has already gone through the 280 also. I cut that slab, it come up about this much higher, kind of rounded. I went on ahead and cut it in half because there wasn't anything in the top part but a couple of good sized fractures that come down this way. So I cut those off. And there's the little animal I was talking about. It looks like it's down in the bottom of the ocean, like maybe it's a otter fixing to go after a fish here, or eat one of these roots sticking up out of the bottom. But you should be able to see the. Let's try this. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see the brown a little better. I should have just showed it to you on the other one. Kind of neat. I kind of like it. And then here's the backside. Backside ain't too awful. You can still tell it's the shadow of the animal, but well, it looks like a shadow of an animal, or the backside. But it's a little darker, and it's got those two fractures that are showing that white on them. So I didn't want to make that the front. And it's just a sample anyway, because I didn't want to take all of this off. I'd have lost these two botroidals right here. And they kind of make a difference on the front there. It kind of makes it where his paws are touching on them. Kind of gives him two legs, in other words, two sets of legs. And I didn't want to lose that. But here it is when it's wet. And if I can get it to stay wet, it's been stabilized, so it's got the cactus juice in it. But there it is. Let's go ahead and open this back up here. That's not going to show you much of it just clears it up, makes it not so cloudy looking. And then I kind of rounded off the front side a little this way. The back side I tried to round it off a little, but I didn't work on it too hard. Once I got all the pits and 80 grit scratches out of it and 120 or 220 grit scratches out of it. Sorry. I figured that would be good enough for that one. So let's go ahead and get started on this 600 grit. Oh, I touched that, didn't I? Surprised it didn't fall all the way down here. I need to take this off and tighten it, but I'll do that when I put my new felts on. I just didn't want to do it today. I got lazy. I already cut these this morning, so let's go ahead and get started. I better wet my pads down. Hopefully these ain't going to take very long to finish from here. It's hard to say though. But here we go. Get my chair legs going the right direction. Okay, I'm back. Sorry to move that while I was talking. My dang wheels are in the wrong place on my chair again. I figured I'd show you these stones now that I got them done. There's the first one. Well, the second one. Started on the other one first just to shape it, and then I did this one, then I did the other one. There's the other side. I kind of like this. Took a real good shine. I didn't show that. I guess it'd be easier on the other one because then you can see the outline of the light bulb in the light fixture. And then here's the other one, the cab. Took a good shine too. I polished the back of it too. I finished this one first on the 3000 grit, popped it in the freezer while I was doing the other one, and then I popped it off and polished the back of it. And figured I'd get that out of the way now so I could show it to you with the back polished instead of waiting until later, like I've done in the past because I was too lazy to finish it. Or it was too late at night, one of the two, depending on which one came first. Okay, close your eyes over here. Now I'm going to show these to you with the light coming through the back of it. I can keep my head out of the way. I can't get close enough to the darn thing to see if it's in focus or not. It's kind of neat. I'd like to have had better, but it works for me. And there's what it looks like with the light coming through the back of it. It's like some kind of a bird going after a fish down here. There's the bird in the beak. And then here's the other one on the zoomed in. I'll show it on the face first. That way you can see the colors in there. And there's the light shining off of it. I kind of like this. It's a neat little sample. Get my fat fingers out of the way of that other inclusion there. Now let's flip it around. That's the back side. One for those 2 fractures. This side might look better than the other one. Well, 3 fractures. You got this one here also. We got those 2 and this one. But those are kind of what give it its pattern. Because they got stained. Oh, focus. Oh, what I didn't do was use that other light to reflect off of this one. It's not going to show up as big as it does on the other one because the other one's a little lighter and a little flatter. I just rounded it off a little on the face, not too much on the back. The other one, the longer sample. But this one will go in an open back setting. I may even buy one for it. I like these. I always did. I always have liked agates. I keep saying that every time. But I like this. I like this one because of the animal in it. And I could get rid of this white mark by just rubbing oil into that fracture. It'll take out that cloudy white powder. That's from grinding. That's why it's showing up so white like that. The same with the ones on the back. Now I won't be able to do anything about the stuff that's inside back in here. I'm trying to stop that from reflecting my monitor. Where it goes far back, I can get it out of the little cracks on there, but where it angles back down into the stone, I'm not going to be able to get all the way into that unless I soak it. And I don't know about doing that. I don't know how long it'll take for it to all come out. It's not like I've sold anything at all yet. So 5 cabs, I think. I charged the guy $15. It was more of an experiment. It was at the Rock and Mineral Show, Gem and Mineral Show at the Pavilion in Marion. And I was in there one day. I just happened to have, I took my cabs in to see if anybody wanted to buy some. And I'd seen that guy there before. And I think that's who I bought. What was it? Oh, the dinosaur bone. He's the guy I bought the dinosaur bone from. Well, the petrified bone. I don't know whether it was dinosaur or not. I just know it was petrified bone. Didn't work out so good, but it's still there and it's still a sample. People into fossils might like it. I'm not really that into fossils. But there's some white inclusions down inside of this too that kind of look like it's got white spots on it. They look like pits, and some of them are really small pits. But I got some of them off and some of them come back. When I got them off, actually I had them off once. I only see actually just one. No, 2, 3. I see 3 pits. But the rest of them were inclusions up in there inside, bubbles inside the agate. But anyway, that's the video. Let me shut that. Whoa. That bothers me. Maybe I better just get a new nylon nut. I think I've got one the right size. Let's get a new nylon nut and put on it. I put a lock washer and a star lock washer. on there. Maybe I should have put it on the outside instead of the inside. Maybe that's what it is. Because when that outside twists, it loosens the nut. And this thing only moves that far, but it's got a quick release bracket on it. You pull out on it and it pops the whole light off so that you can take the lid off without the light being in your way up here. But anyway, I have no idea what I'm going to do next. I did buy another Montana agate, small one, at Macanda at the rock shop yesterday. But I tried to cut it today when I cut these. I cut this out of the first slab, and this is half of the second slab. And then that I was going to do today. And I was going to go ahead and cut those so I could see what they're going to look like. But it's awful dark. Actually, let me get it. I'll show it to you. It's awful dark on the inside. Where'd I put it? There it is. It's awful dark on this side. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do out of it. But there's where I started to cut it. And as you can see, that is curved. It's not cut crooked, it's curved. And I'll finish the cut on my, not only is it curved, it's at an angle. And I know darn good and well I was holding it flat because I was watching this edge of it as I was running it in there, and it just kept moving on me. And then that's why it was stopping on me partway through on the other stuff that I was cutting the other day. It's just I'm through with those saws. If it's just so convenient because that I don't have to take the in order to cut bigger stuff, bigger than this on my oil saw, I'd have to take the slide bar and the auto feed off and set it off on the side. And that kind of defeats the purpose of having one to begin with. But if they won't fit in the saw, then that's why I use if they won't fit in that saw because it's 3 1/4 inches, I think, or 3 inches in between the two uprights on the brace or on the clamp, and then those are just threaded threaded rod, and then it's got a block of wood that sets down on top, and 2 thumb screws to screw it down this way. So if it's more than 3 inches wide, 3 1/2 inches or 3 1/4 inches wide, I can't get it inside of there, because that block of wood's only that much wider on either side of those uprights. So there's only that much, I could only put that much of it in there if I couldn't get it in between the two uprights. Which wouldn't be bad on something like this if it was flatter and not rounded on the edges on both sides, because it's just good. That block will just sit on there like this and then it'll pop out anyway. And the bottom's metal, even though it is powder coated, it's metal, it would slide out too. So I may have to find me a better water saw, 10-inch water saw. I think I've got a, well, no, I ain't gonna use that. I've got a tile saw, and it's got a 10-inch blade on it, but the 10-inch blade only sticks up that high above the table. What a waste of a 10-inch blade. It's a little ridiculous if you ask me, but it's for cutting tile, so it didn't really need a 10-inch blade. A 6-inch blade would have worked. But anyway, that's the video. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do next. This one will be out Sunday with these here in it, and I don't know what I'll do for Wednesday. I'll figure something out, but I'll see you then. So stay tuned. Have a good one, and thanks for watching. And oh, if you were subscribed to Matt's Rocks, this is Matt's Rocks 2, formerly Matt's Rocks. I got locked out of that channel. I got to keep remembering to do that because I've just lost 266 subscribers. I'm up to 9, and I've only got, this will be the 9th video, I think, 8th or 9th, maybe 10th, somewhere in there. On Matt's Rocks 2, that's all the videos I got out on it. And all the other videos are still in the other channel. I left it open. I probably wouldn't be able to close it anyway. If I can't get into it to comment back to anybody that, or reply to any comments that I had. This was what I was trying to do, trying to reply back, but my TV and my tablet doesn't give you that option. You can put a comment on one of the videos. I could watch one of the videos and put a comment on it, but I don't know if everybody reads the comments when they watch videos. I usually don't, unless it's unless there's something that they say is mentioned in the comments that I wanted to look at, which doesn't happen all that often. So help me get my subscribers back, please. Thank you very much, and you guys take care, and see you on the next one.